cladding has finally arrived. It's a composite cladding to go on the walls. I'm going to start doing the front wall, I think, because it's going to be easier cuts because it's just straight cuts, and then the off cuts will do the back. So we're going to do this wall, and then the off cuts left over will do the back and that side, because as previously installed, we've got our corrugated sheets at the back at the lower level, so they're not going to be visible. What we're going to use to cut the boards, to start off with the main cuts, we're going to use a circular saw. Basically this stuff is made out of wood, so wood cuttings and plastic. So I believe it's 60% wood, 40% plastic, with some kind of resin. In order to install them, you're not, it says you can screw straight through them, but I think I'm going to try piloting them first, because I did split one of them when I was doing the testers. So that one didn't split, but this one did split slightly. Nothing major. I might see how we get on. But it's a really nice clean cut. There's no chipping. I'd be happy to use that as either the top or the bottom. I purposely done it so all the cuts are at the bottom, but that is really nice and clean, so it doesn't matter if that is at the top or bottom, so I can get that offered up in place and good to go. Right, so now that I've cut down, I've done 7 so far. It should be enough to do this, but I'm not going to cut any more because I don't know the sizes that I need for that side yet, because the ground is sloping. At a later stage I will be levelling out this grass, but for right now I wanted to go as far down as possible to prevent any splashback against the OSB and the breathable membrane. So what we'll do, we'll get these lined up in place and fitted. This one. Right, so I put a screw in, tried to pilot it, and as you can see it's cracked the back, so I think it's meant to do that. I think it will still hold, but I'm not entirely comfortable with it, so I'm going to pilot the holes where possible. I tried in the middle, so at least that way if it split the top then it wouldn't start flapping, so we'll be good to go on that one, and then go from there, see how we get on. So I'm just going around the door frame, and unfortunately there's a bit of an overhang just on the lip, so what I'm having to do is get the multi-tool and just shave down the excess so I can get it to fit lovely around the door. It's going to get covered over by the door trims anyway, so not overly fast, but I'm just basically following the line on the inside of here. It's just so it means that when it's on, the door can open a bit wider. Otherwise it would literally come to a 90-degree, it'd be a bit annoying. I'd rather it a bit open, especially in the summertime. So just using the multi-tool and just getting rid of that excess. So I've done the corner bead. What I'm about to do is put a bit of timber to support it there, which is fine. This is all going to get covered over with corner trimmings anyway, but looks relatively nice anyway. I'm quite happy with that, so we're going to start working on this bit. Right, so this board is going to cut over into the door hinges, so we're going to have to trim off a section, probably about 1 centimetre to 2 centimetres off the lip, so hopefully it's just 1 centimetre. So I've not screwed these in, but as you can see, we're now getting close to where the door frame meets. Now what I want to do is hide this door essentially, so it actually sits relatively perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the inner lip on the next board. And what I mean by that, so on this we've got this lip here that interlocks into the next board. What I'm going to do is, to make it absolutely seamless, I'm going to cut off this lip here so it can freely move past, and then what it will do is the edging will still be supported on the batten, so it will then basically sit, every time it opens and closes, sits perfectly, and it will just open and then disappear again without essentially that lip there, and then screw onto the next one to hold it in place. So then what I'll do is I'll stick a batten behind, glue it in place, so this is supported and not just flopping around on this one here. I'm just working on the side bit now. As you can see, there is a slope on the side panel, therefore when we cut the cladding, we can't cut it at a 90-degree angle because it's not quite 90 degree. So I've got a measuring level, and what I've done is I've just placed my spirit level up against the side to get a straight angle, and this is giving me a measurement of 88.89, so just under the 90-degree angle. So what I can now do, I've locked that in place, and then what I can now do is transfer that measurement onto my chopping board. So that'll be out by about 1 mil or 2, and that should give us our angle all the way down. So as this is my friend, I need to work out how to change the angle on it. Right, so I've worked out how to do it. It's just turn this. So I've actually now maneuvered it. So essentially this is spot on, bang in the middle, and as I've pushed that up against there, you can see it falls out of line. So in order to get it in line, hopefully you can still see that, this now falls perfectly in line. So when I cut my boards, this will now give me the angle. I've just got to make sure I cut the right side of the boards every time. So I'll screw this back up, and that will hold that in place as we cut all of our sideboards. Now, fantastic little tool. I got this off Amazon. I think it is about £6 to £8, something like that. It's nothing special, it's just plastic, although they say it's carbon fibre. They're definitely not, but it's got a little digital screen, so it tells you exactly what your angles are. So as I said, I need an angle of 88.85. The thing about this cladding is it does have great airflow, so you just have a single slat, but underneath the cladding it's kind of vented as well, so you're getting sort of multi-cross ventilation. So what I'm doing is just getting it in line with where it's going to screw in, and then I can start leveling it. Appleby? Wake up! You got stone? Is that my stone, is it? Flow stone, is it? Since when? Did you buy them? Yeah? Where did you buy them from? I used to have something like that. Careful. Right, so now that I've got that relatively level, so what I want to do, right, so just doing around the window. So as you can see, I've used the jigsaw to cut out the frame sections, so we've got one nice leave that top one for now. I think what I might do is just finish the front and just do this door section. So I'm going to do a load of cuts at the top, bring that over, and then I can do the rest as the bottom cuts and have that come over as well. So right, what I've done is I've run a circular saw along this corner edge to take this beading off so it butts up against the door. Just using a crowbar just to get that little edge off.
Here's what I made earlier. Made it look so easy, didn't you? Why have you got one in your mouth? No, I don't want it in my mouth. It's dirty. Did you message Tim?
Yeah.
And?
Don't know, Sunday though. That was people to be working daily.
You are?
I want people to be working daily.
Yeah.
So what I've got to do now is just notch out these bits for the hinges, and then that should fit in to the last section. Right, so this last section is now quite fragile because there's not much holding it together, and we've done that at both points, so hopefully it now slots in. Right, so I'm now currently doing the back. What I've done is I've pre-drilled the top holes ready, and what I'll do is I'll stick a screw in each of them because they're all pretty much in line with the top panel. But essentially what you'll see is the boards start about here and it just overlaps this section here, so when it runs down, it runs straight over the composite. So as I said, I've pre-drilled the top bit, so it will just screw it straight in, then I can just drill the next hole for it to go in. So just continuing that until I get it done, so I can get the gutter in after.